It is our pleasure to be joined by a man that just went down to the Senior Bowl and completely dominated. So dominant, in fact, that he was named MVP of the 2022 Senior Bowl. Perrion Winfrey. Oh, he's got the trophy. What's
Yeah,
up,
awesome.
man? It was a blessing for sure. I loved that whole experience. Like, it was just crazy just to be down there and be around all them. You with the best of the best. So, like, it was just amazing to be, for them to say that I was the best out of the best of the best.
What'd you think about the experience? Did it kind of live up to what you thought was going to happen? I know you spent time preparing for it to go down there. You just didn't go wing it, but did it kind of play out how you thought it would?
I'm not gonna lie, it was even more than I expected. Like, it was just a great experience overall. Like, even in the interviews and the practice and everything, like, everything was just smooth. Like, it didn't feel like nothing was, how could I say this? It didn't feel like nothing we were doing too much. Like, they were taking care of us and everything. I loved the whole experience.
So I definitely want to talk more about your experience down there at the Senior Bowl, but I think there are a lot of people that are curious about what you did between the time you opted out of the Alamo Bowl, which in hindsight, what a tremendous decision you made.
Fresh.
So what did you do between opting out of the Alamo Bowl and going to Mobile for the Senior Bowl?
Right.
Because clearly you did something right, man.
Real talk. I would say, so November 28th was the game. I probably took like 3 weeks to a month off, literally just to get back to myself 100%, just my mind, body, and spirit, like just everything in alignment, like just making sure I was healthy. People don't know I was at the game, the Alamo Bowl. I just didn't want to be seen. I wanted it to be about my brothers, the next generation, the younger D linemen. I wasn't even on the sideline. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I just cut out. Yeah, I wasn't even on the sideline. Like, I was in the stands. I had a hoodie on and everything. I didn't even want people to see me. Like, I just came down there to celebrate my brothers. So after the Senior Bowl, after the Alamo Bowl, I called Coach Tiv. He came down in the how could I say this? Like, the locker room, but it was like outside the locker room. We had a moment. We both crying, and I'm telling him I'm about to prepare and I'm about to do what I said I was going to do. So then in January, it was just full speed. Like, I knew I didn't have no time to waste. So I was going. We was working out 3 times a day. I bought a Lifetime membership. So I was also going to Lifetime after those workouts, stretching, hot tub, sauna, cold tub. Just, I watched when they put out the roster and they let us know who we were going against in practice, I watched every single last dude on that roster, every single last one of their clips. Like, I had to learn them inside and out. So, like, when it came to the Senior Bowl, I was ready to go. So
it was awesome. Now, you could tell that once you get that first win, right, in one-on-ones or whatever the drill is, you get that first win and kind of the pressure's off, right? You could just start turning it loose.
No, for real. It was just, like, after the first win, I'm like, yo, this is easy. Like, yeah, this is the best of the best, but like, I'm up there with them. Like, this I'm thinking before, like, man, it might be a little challenging. Like, it was low key easier going against the best of the best because it brought my game up to a level that I've never seen before. It just made me want to go harder and made me want to prove people wrong. So just after that first win, I was on and popping. Like, I couldn't slow down.
So at the Senior Bowl, there's a lot that goes on, right? You got the practices and the meetings, but you also got all the other stuff going on, right? You got the meetings with the teams, the psychiatric evaluation, like the medical, all that stuff. When you were meeting with teams, like, did their tone change a little bit as the week went on? Like, as you were doing better and better, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Tuesday, that was the first week of practice, the first day of practice, and we met with 16 teams from 7 to 11. They were like, you're having a good day, monster day, da 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 da. But then on Thursday, after the Thursday practice, like after the week, everybody's tone changed. Like, they're like, what's gotten into you? Like, are you serious? Like, I didn't even know this was you had this in you. Like, every single coaching staff that I talked to, tone completely changed from me getting there and then our last interviews. It was crazy.
So, like, whenever you back up a little bit, so when you decided to opt out of the bowl game and start, preparing yourself to go down there to Senior Bowl and starting this next journey is going to be a long year in front of you. So, whenever you started that, and then it's like right around the same time where all the turmoil stuff started to happen, like, what was your mindset like whenever you guys first got the news about Lincoln Riley?
So we all were in the meeting. He scheduled us a meeting for 3:30, so we all were sitting in there, but we didn't think nothing of it because we always have team meetings. But we were all on our phones, and then out of nowhere, I can't even remember who it is. They're like, "Bro, Link's going to Cali." We're like, "Bro, what are you talking about? Like, shut up. We just talked to him yesterday. He's not going nowhere." And then everybody's phone got the ring, and like, "No, he's really going to Cali." So, I mean, we were all shocked. I would say we were all a little frustrated at the beginning, but like I guess he did what he saw was best for his family. I got nothing but love and respect for Lincoln Riley because of the opportunities he gave me and my family. I wouldn't say that I would agree with his decision 100%, just in the way that he did it and the way that he left us. But I still want to see him win, not as much as the University of Oklahoma, of course, but I still want to see him win, and I'm still glad that he's doing good. But it was weird the way he left, for sure.
So anyone that has watched you play knows you're an extremely emotional guy, right? Like you put everything you got into playing the game.
Right.
I assume that emotion also crosses over into your day-to-day life. Like,
right.
When all that went down, I know I was emotional about it. I'm sure Teddy was the same. We all were just like, what the, yeah. How'd you take it personally?
I'm not gonna lie. At first I was mad. I was mad as hell. Just because, like, I don't know, it just made everything like weird. Like our send-off, I guess you would say, like everything just didn't feel right. Like it felt like that's not the way our season was supposed to end. Like I just feel like we were too talented to lose 2 games. So it was just a lot of emotions going inside my body. Like I was truly mad for about a good week. I'm not gonna lie, I was mad for like a week. Like I kept talking to my roommate about it every day, and then I just had to push it to the back of my mind. But I wouldn't. Yeah, I was just mad for real. I was mad at the beginning, but after a while, I got to thinking. I'm like, man, he did what was best for his family. I don't agree with how he did it, but he did what he saw fit, that what was gonna help his family out the most.
And when it happens the way, like as quick as it did and the way it did, it's like we've all been grinding and you've been scheming the whole time, right? And that leaves you frustrated. Like we're all supposed to be in this thing together, going for the same goal. And you mentioned that you talked to Coach Thibodeau down there at the Alamo Bowl. Like, what was that relationship like with you? Like, kind of takes through the whole thing. Like, whenever you first showed up, how you guys bonded as your development, progressed, and then obviously whenever all the stuff went down and he's not going to be around.
Right. I love Coach Tibbs. When I first got to OU, we were bumping heads like every day. We were getting into it, like, because I thought if I was just young and dumb, and I'm thinking that he's out to get me or he's like he doesn't like me. But then in the back of my head, I'm thinking like, if he didn't like you, he wouldn't have recruited you. He wouldn't have tried to get you here. So obviously, he doesn't not like you. He just is trying to push you to levels that you've never been to in your life. He's trying to show you what greatness is and how to obtain greatness. So at first, our relationship, we were bumping heads like the whole probably 2020 season. But after that season in 2021, like we became like this, like truly locked in. Like he really just changed my life and my mental and the way I saw the game and the way I took on the game and just everything about Coach Tibb I appreciate because he was like one of the first men other than my father that kept it real with me, like regardless of if he was gonna hurt my feelings or not. Like he was blunt as hell. Like he didn't care if it hurt me or not. He was one of those people that was gonna let me know what it was. So when I seen him at the Alamo Bowl, I went in the locker room, he wasn't there. So now I'm getting a little emotional because I'm like, damn, I done missed him. I don't know when the next time I'm gonna see this man is. So I called him. He got off the bus and he came, ran inside the stadium, and we just started crying. It was just a really emotional moment because we both had goals in mind that we wanted to do for the University of Oklahoma, and we didn't get those things done. So we were a little frustrated, but overall, we were just crying because we were just proud at the way that our lives were going. So I would say my relationship with Tibbs was amazing.
So clearly, you care about Tibbs a lot,
right?
And I'm sure you've seen some of this stuff because Teddy and I have certainly seen it. But people seem to think the way that you performed at the Senior Bowl is somehow an indictment on the coaching you received at Oklahoma. It seems like a lot of people are like, hey, where was this on a more consistent basis? Is it frustrating for you to see that stuff? Do you kind of agree with some of that? Like how have you dealt with seeing that type of stuff?
Right. So I believe Grinch was a great coach when it came to trying to fine tune our mental and trying to get us prepared for the game. But I also feel like we weren't playing to our strengths. Like we had me, Nick Bonito, Isaiah Thomas, and Jalen Redmond all on the same D line. There's no reason why we're not attacking people 24/7. Like there's no reason why we have to run stunts in games. Like in the Senior Bowl game, me and IT ran a stunt. It didn't work. I come to the sideline. The Jets coach was like, bruh, don't be running no games. Games are for people who can't dominate a man one-on-one. So then I go in again and I just run through a person's face and get a TFL. Come back to the side. He's like, you see what I'm talking about? You don't need to run no games. Games are meant for people who can't dominate a game. So I feel like we just weren't allowed to showcase our skills throughout the whole season. Like Nick Bonito is mugging 95% of the game, like in coverage instead of screaming off the edge. They putting me at nose. There was a whole bunch of things. I could go on and on about it, but yeah, I definitely feel
keep
like
going, man, because you're saying a lot of the things that Teddy and I have been saying for a couple of years.
It was just confusing because it's like as a defensive coordinator, I got respect for Grinch, but you're supposed to mold your defensive scheme around your players. Like you're not supposed to try to force a scheme on players that it doesn't fit. Like as a great defensive coordinator, you must see what you have and put forth enough to help them. Like not try to mold them around your scheme because like as you see, like it wasn't working. We were all so frustrated this year because we knew what we were capable of. It was like a 4 to 5 game span where we didn't get a sack or a TFL. Like just seeing stuff like that, we were truly frustrated the whole year. So I feel like that's probably why the defense didn't play how they did in the year before, just because we were so frustrated and I guess fed up in the fact that we wanted certain calls in and we weren't getting the things that we wanted to. We weren't playing the way that we wanted to because of those things.
Yeah. I feel like one of my complaints was you got to know when to switch gears. I think like movement on the defensive line, that you're hiding something, you're masking something, right? Yeah. Like we can't control the line of scrimmage, so we've got to be able to manipulate it somehow. But you've got to be able to switch gears. Like at Washington State and some of these other schools, like you don't have that talent. And whenever you're implementing your system at Oklahoma, like you need to be prepared for that. But whenever you got the guys, you got to be able to switch gears, right? And I felt like we were kind of stuck there a little bit. But you know, it's all, you know, water under the bridge at this point. Yeah. So
ain't nothing you can do to change it. And in addition to that, I guess I would say that the only other thing that was pissing us off was the rotation. Like,
yeah,
when I want to get out the game, like let me tap my head and come out. Like, you don't have to take us out every 3 plays. Like we were trying to tell them, like yo, I need to get into a rhythm. Like I'm going in for 3 plays and then I won't see the field for like 2 drives. Then I'm going back in. my legs cold, hips tight. Like, let us get hot. Like, that's how I play the game. Like, once I get hot, ain't no cooling me down. So, like, I was just trying to push forward a lot of stuff, but after a while, I just sat in the back seat because I didn't want to feel like I was trying to be bigger than the coaching staff.
Yeah.
You have no idea how many OU fans are going to hear that and go, "I told you." And that's stuff that Teddy and I talked a lot about. Like that, those are the frustrations that we voiced about the defense, especially last season.
Right.
But you know, as you know, looking at the 2021 season as a whole, right? You know, you guys didn't accomplish the goal, right? Going into the year, it was national championship expectations. You know, you kind of laid out your issues that you had with the defense. Like, was there anything just team wide? Like, because it never seemed like you guys reached your full potential. Like, why do you think that was the case?
Man, we asked this question almost every day in the group chat. Just, I don't know. It was just a load of, I feel like there was too much pressure on us. So everybody was playing tight instead of the year before where we're not looked at as the national championship team. We're looked at as the team who went 1-2 to start off the season. So now we got something to prove. And instead of this season, now we go in as the number one ranked team in the AP poll going into the season. Everybody's talking about our national championship. They're talking about how great our defense is, how great the D-line is going to be. So I feel like everybody just went to the season like tense, scared to make a mistake, scared to be that person that made that wrong move. So we all were just not playing like ourselves, I guess you could say. It was just, I don't know. We were winning games, but like every week it didn't feel like we were winning. Like we were just mad. Like it was just so much turmoil. Like we were 9-0, and it felt like inside the facility that we were like 4-7. Like it was just weird. It's hard to explain. It didn't feel like last year for sure.
How was it for you guys on the defense? Whenever, as it's rare, I don't remember the last time we've had it at Oklahoma where you've got a quarterback change.
Right.
Like not based off of injury or anything, like based off of performance. What was that like for you guys on the defensive side and in the locker room? You know, at the end of the day, a lot of times it's like, I don't care, whoever's our best guy, let's roll with it. But sometimes, you know, teams can be fractured by something like that.
Right. I'm cool with both of them. I would say it didn't affect the defense, to be honest with you, because both of them are great leaders. And when Caleb came in, he was just motivating everybody and trying to push everybody to be great. I wouldn't say it affected anything for real on the outside world or in our eyes. Maybe one of them were feeling a certain type of way, but they were never like outgoingly showing it. Like the love and the support was still the same. So I wouldn't say that the QB change was the reason or the reason or the for our downfall this season. Like it was just a whole bunch of bits that just ultimately showed in the games, like that Kansas game, like the fact that we didn't practice on Monday, like just little stuff like that. Just I don't know. It was just it's hard to explain. I think about it every day.
You'll think about it for a long time, man.
Right.
Take my word for it.
Yep.
But okay, we've talked about kind of the frustrations, right? And that's just I mean, any guy that has played college and in the NFL will tell you that for whatever reason, you remember the low points way better than you remember kind of the victories and the high points. But what were some of the high points for you at Oklahoma, right? I mean, because I know you didn't reach the ultimate goal, but you still you accomplished a hell of a lot.
Right. Man, I had a lot of high points. I would probably say winning a Big 12 championship and then going and smacking up on them Florida boys.
Which I thought that Big 12 championship may have been the best game that you played. I don't know what the statistics were, but you were wrecking it in that one.
Right. Definitely. I loved going against Iowa State. Like everybody knew that. Like if it was an Iowa State game, I was turned. Like that was one of those games that I was really up and hyped about because I just knew like I was gonna get on that game. Mostly that game we were doing a lot of stuff defensively that I actually agreed with. But and going back to talking about the highs, I would probably say like Texas game last year, blocking that kick. Yeah, that was cool. But the Texas game this year, that's crazy. The highs. Like that was the best football game I've ever.
Because you didn't get to see the stadium like that before, right? Yeah, that's right.
It was insane. Like the energy and everything in there. Like I've never felt nothing like that. Like that was one of the highest points in my life, not just at the University of Oklahoma, but like one of the highest points of my life because my parents are literally sitting damn near courtside. Like I'm looking behind myself and I'm seeing them. So I go make a play and then I come back and my dad like, yeah, but I need. So just like little stuff like that was one of the highest of highs. Like it's just funny because it was 28-13 or 28-10, I believe, at halftime. And like Texas is walking up the ramp like the game's over. And we're trying to run up it. So the police are having to block us. And that's just when we knew, like, yeah, we're about to come back and win this game. They think it's over and it's just begun. That was a crazy experience.
What was the locker room like? Like whenever you guys finally got in there and you were down, what was it like? Were guys? No one had their head down.
Locker room, we wasn't down. We were turned up. Like we was like, come on, like this game is not like I've never seen our locker room like that. Like we were turned up. Like we were like, this game not over. We're not going home with an L. We're not going home without the W. Like everybody in there knew the whole game that we were gonna win. Like regardless of the score, we were winning that game. Like nobody's confidence ever wavered. Like it was weird. Like it was like we all knew what was about to happen, and it truly happened. Like that second half was crazy, bro. Crazy. For real. I almost thought it was gonna go into overtime again. That was insane.
I think at one point, I'm not sure if you remember this, but I'm pretty sure it happened. I'm pretty sure I'm not making this up in my mind. But you guys had just gotten another stop, and I was standing over because I'll go stand over kind of by the defensive line bench.
Right.
And you and I just kind of chest bumped and screamed in each other's faces. Like there were no words exchanged. It was like, but like everyone, it was the fans, it was the players, it was the radio guys. Like we all that second half, you're right, man. It was insane.
I definitely remember that. Yeah, we were definitely turned up. Like we didn't even. I just chest bumped you and screamed and just walked away. Like that's how much energy was flowing throughout that stadium. Like we didn't say no words. We just screamed and walked away. Like that shit was normal. Like that second half was great. And then the fact that our bench is right behind the Texas fans, so they're turning me up because they're like, Winfrey, you saw Winfrey this, Winfrey that. Winfrey, go make a play. I go in, make a sack, come back, and just stand there, just look behind me. Don't even say nothing. I'm just looking. And now, from the beginning of the game, they're talking trash to the end of the game. Now they're, oh man, you played a great game. Da 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 da. It was just funny being. I love that the fact that their fans were behind us the whole game. For real,
that's awesome. You played in two epic games back to back. The overtime crazy game, which was crazy, but it never had the feeling because there just wasn't that many people there. I mean, it was still an unbelievable game.
That game was legendary, but this one, like this one was one of them Texas games that's going to be talked about for years and years and years.
I've seen 22 of them in my life, and I've never seen anything close to that. That was insane. It was great.
Everybody was saying that, like just the energy in there, like, ooh, I get goosebumps just thinking about it. Like the way the fans were jumping up and down, and it was just insane, like insane.
Yeah, so, definitely the most hyped I've been in a game that I wasn't playing in. Like it was, I was losing.
Saying, bro. Everybody on the sideline was just like their energy was giving us more energy. Like there was nobody in there that was dual face. Like from Joe Castiglione, everybody was turned up, bro. Like it was crazy.
Okay, I could talk about that game all day long. I do want to circle back to the Senior Bowl because you talked about the work you were putting in heading into it, right? Your preparation. What was it like? How did you, what did you feel after you had that week of practice? You dominate the game, you're named MVP. Like, at what moment after the game were you like, damn, like, I just did it as good as I could do it? Like, when did that hit you?
I'm not gonna lie. I was in the present state of mind till about Monday. Like, it didn't hit me till Monday when I got home and I put the trophy. Because let me see if I can flip the camera. If you look, for a whole month, I had this and this sitting right here at the dinner table because I said when I went to the Senior Bowl, I was going to eat. So the fact that I spoke that up and then I came in here and put the trophy right on the table, that's when it hit me like, Perrion, you really just did that. But in doing so, it made me want to go harder because it showed me, like, with a little hard work, like, look how much success you can get. So imagine if you, like, continue to prepare and continue to work hard. So, like, that really just turned me up to another level. Like, I'm finna go to the combine and dominate. Like, they're about to see some freaky shit. Like, I like that. That really changed my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. That changed my life. Just being around all those people that winning MVP. Yeah, that definitely changed my life for sure.
It's crazy. It's awesome. And having success like that is fuel, man. So, like,
Right.
what is next? What's, you do have the combine, but,
Right.
that comes with a whole nother group of preparation that you got to prepare for. So, where are you going to be doing your training?
Exactly. So I'm at Exos in Dallas with Brent Calloway. I would just say that I'm working more on speed now. Like, we only got like about 2 weeks before the combine. So, like, everything has to be spot on. Like, there can't be no mistakes. Like, everything basically has to be perfect because once we go to the combine, we won't have our trainers there like tell us like fix your hand or do this or do that. Like, we got to make sure everything's perfect because when we get to the combine, we basically got to be our own coach. So I would say like these next 2 weeks or next two and a half weeks, like the preparation is even more intense. Like again, we're working out 3 times a week. I'm going to Lifetime every day, stretching, hot tub, cold tub. I'm doing the same preparation I was doing for the Senior Bowl, but just more amped up and more focused, more locked in. I'm not talking to as many people, giving my energy to as many people because I'm focused on myself, like tunnel vision. Like, I just did the Senior Bowl, now it's the combine. I'm only thinking about the combine. Like, I'm not thinking about the pro day or the draft. Like, I'm putting stuff in order and I'm focusing on that. And then when I complete that task, then we'll go on to the next task.
It sounds like, just with the combine prep, do you have any goals in mind? Like, do you have times you want to hit? Like, have you set that stuff in your mind? Because I love what you said about the Senior Bowl. Like, hey, visualizing that, setting that as your goal and then making that goal a reality. Like, do you have any of that stuff for the NFL combine right now?
Hell yeah. For my 40, I'm trying to run 4.8. Like, when they see me fucking flying down that motherfucker, they're not gonna know what to do. Like, for my 40, I'm trying to run about 4.85. If I can get it down to like 4.82, oh my God, they gotta pay me. My vert, I'm trying to get about 35, 36. Like, I'm about to do some freaky shit at the combine. My broad jump is going to be 10 inches, 10 feet, whatever one it is. Like, they're not ready for what my 3-cone drill is about to be 7.1 something. My 5.10.5 is about to be 4.2. Like, what I'm about to put on tape at the Senior Bowl after that, I mean, at the combine, they're not going to be able to deny me. So,
How much you going to weigh, you think?
I'm probably going to be around 290, 295. I was 303 at the Senior Bowl for the most part. But then throughout the whole week, I feel like I was like 293 at the game. I want to be like a little lighter so I could just fucking fly.
If you run 4.8, you remember Bo Jackson when he ran the touchdown and just kept running into the tunnel?
Yeah.
If you run 4.8, just keep going. Say, I'm done, boys. The combine's over. I'm out.
So this is something you need to know. This is something you need to know because Teddy and I both went to the combine. We've been through it. You run and your time isn't like visible anywhere.
Right.
So you have to go check your phone and your agent will send you your time. Right. Or we'll send you like the screenshot from NFL Network of you running and like the time that they got. And it says unofficial and those get tweaked a little bit. But if you run one and you run 4.82, do not run a second one. That's my advice.
So I would say if you run it, don't run a second one. Don't do a vertical. Don't do your 3 codes.
Don't do anything else.
Don't do anything. Just deuces. I'm out of here. It's what Dion did. He's like, he ran and he kept going.
Real talk. That would be dope for sure. So
that's awesome. So go ahead, Gabe.
You got it, Ted.
I was just gonna say that so I've we've had a lot of stuff go down, and I saw that whenever you got the Senior Bowl MVP, Coach Venables gave you a shout out on Twitter, and then you responded back to him. What have you heard, or what's been your interaction with the new coaching staff up there?
So when Venables came in, we all were in the meeting. And I mean, like, everybody's ears were up. Like, nobody was leaned back, or everybody was in there, like, locked in, like, oh my God, this man is about to change this program. Like he's bringing that dog mentality back to the University of Oklahoma. Like, and sitting there, I'm rocking back and forth, like, dude, I might not leave. Like, I might play for this man. Like, I swear, like, you can ask any of my teammates, like, it took a whole lot of thinking to come to a decision. And then after the meeting, I walked down and I like, everybody left. I introduced myself to him, like, yeah, I'm Perrion Winfrey. He looks up to me. He's like, oh, that's you? You know you got another year of eligibility, right? And when he did that, like, he don't even know. Like, that made me even think about it even more. Like, I'm thinking about it day in and day out. Like, man, I'm trying to play for this man. Like, he is a dog. Like that's all that was going through my head. But I had to do what was best for my family, and I just felt like it was time to go.
Yeah, well, after that Senior Bowl performance, it's looking like a really good decision, bro. It's looking like a smart decision. So, are you still staying in touch? I know you're laser focused.
Right.
You're extremely focused on the Senior Bowl stuff. Now it's the combine stuff that has all your focus. But are you still talking to some of those guys that are still back at OU? Some of the guys that you were on that D line with that are still there, and what are they saying about the new coaching staff? Maybe they say anything about Schmitty and what they're going through workout wise? Like, what's that conversation like?
Yeah, I talk to almost, like, we have a group chat. I talk to almost everybody on the team every single day, and they're just getting me so excited for the season, because, like, there's kids in the program that under the old coaching strength staff, like, they would be like quitting workouts, like not being able to make workouts. And then when Schmitty got here, like, the players that he's talking about used to quit, like, I'm hearing, like, he's turning them into, like, dogs. Like, everybody in there working. Like, I'm just getting so excited because, like, Justin Broyles was telling me, like, this, the mentality of the whole team is just different. Like, everybody in there is getting extra work. Like, there's no more just chilling. You get one workout in and you're done. Like, everybody's mentality is just changed overall. Like, everybody just wants to win. And the dopest thing I think he did was when he implemented, like, everybody has to wear a suit for the Walker Championship. Like, I feel like he's bringing everybody in as one, and he's bringing that SEC mindset to the University of Oklahoma. So I'm very, very excited for this season, for sure.
You thought about stopping in for a workout with Schmitty?
I ain't gonna lie. I can't pull up on Schmitty. I heard he's doing them boys dirty down there.
Oh, that's good. I don't blame you.
I would, Ted, what's the best way to put it? I would not recommend it.
Yeah. Too many people have told me too many stories. I'd rather listen to the stories than try to see it firsthand, for sure.
No,
until pro day, whenever you're starting to get when you got to.
You breaking up,
Teddy. You're breaking up a little bit, man. So, I think he said so. Yeah, you go to the combine, right? And then there's just kind of this weird lull in everything between the combine and your pro day, which I think is going to be like.
Our combine's March 9th.
So, okay. So there's, I mean, the turnaround time's short.
There's no time to waste. Like, the combine is March 2nd. Our pro day is March 9th. So we're literally leaving from Indianapolis to Norman. Like, we ain't got no time to waste. So that'd probably be the first time I meet Schmitty and get some work in, because obviously we're going to be working that whole week. So I might, like Teddy said, I might have to work with Schmitty for real.
Did you get a feeling from any of the teams at the Senior Bowl? Like, I don't, who was coaching you guys? Was there anyone that you felt like a connection there with, maybe one of the D-line coaches or one of the?
Yeah, I was coached by the Jets, and I would say I built a strong bond with the defensive coordinator and the linebackers coach. Like, they fell in love with me. They voted me captain of the defense for the game. They sat out there and said, like, if anybody has to talk to the team, we want it to be you. So I feel like there was definitely mutual respect from me and them. Like, I don't know, we just clicked right away. Sure.
That's fun, man. I'm so excited for you. Like, we can't let you leave without asking you, like, what got stolen, bro? I saw your tweet. Like, did you get your stuff back?
No, bro, I haven't gotten it back, but hopefully if the Lord sees fit that I'm gonna get my stuff back. It was my Senior Bowl game worn jersey. It was signed by everybody on my team. My shoulder pads that was on the game worn shoulder pads, like everything that I got, and the helmet that I got from the game. So I got the OU helmet, and I put every single last decal from the other teams like on the helmet. If you see it in person, like, it looks dope as fuck. So I just hope I get everything back, bro, because like stuff like that you don't get back. And when I move into my house, like, I want to have a big ass like man cave with all the awards and shit that I won. So to think that won't be in there, that would be kind of hurtful.
Where was it? Was it there in Texas, or was it down in?
It happened in Texas. I left it in my homie's car because he drove me home from the airport, and I didn't remember until the next day. So he was trying to give it back to me, but I just drove out there. It was about 40 minutes. I drove out to him, and we get there. He opens the trunk and he hands me the helmet because I brought my Rough Rider helmet. But then he just looks at me, and I look at him. He's like, "Bro, where's your bag?" So he goes upstairs. He finds out the bag's not up there. Then he realizes that somebody's broken into his car because his brother's wallet was stolen, and they tried to buy $900 worth of merchandise from Walmart. So they're gonna get caught eventually. They're on camera and everything. So eventually they're gonna get caught. I just hope and pray that they don't like try to get rid of this stuff for like damage it or something.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point, everyone knows it's stolen. Like,
exactly.
You're not gonna be able to sell it to a memorabilia guy. Like, just don't like chuck it in a dumpster or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? That would be the worst.
Exactly. At least you got that trophy. I was worried that the trophy was with all that stuff.
No, for real. At least I got this bad boy right here.
But
I can't play for real.
So I've always wondered this, and even though you and I we've gotten to know each other over the last couple of years with my role with the radio stuff and talking to you, doing those post-game interviews, what's up with the Jason thing? Like, when did that start? Like, what is that? What's up with that?
Wait, the JC thing you're talking about, junior college?
Like the Halloween, like the mask, you had it on your thigh pad. Like, it was almost like an alter ego or something. Like, what was that whole deal about?
That's honestly what I feel like. Like, I would say like that. I feel like that scary movie vibe is like my alter ego, because everybody knows when I'm off the field, I'm loving, I'm kind, I'm trying to make everybody laugh. Like, but once I put my helmet on, I feel like my voice changes and everything. Like, I'm trying to kill a motherfucker. Like, I don't know how to explain it, bro. Like, it's not me. Like, I do things on the field, and then I come back, I take my helmet off, and then I'm back into my normal self. And then I'll be like, damn, that was kind of mean. I shouldn't have done that shit to him. But on the field, I'm thinking like, yeah, motherfucker, you like that shit. But when I'm off, it's hard to explain, bro. Like, it's hard to balance like being mean as hell on the field and then being the kind, nice, generous person I am off the field. It's just weird. People see me on the field and then think I'm that way off the field, and then they get to know me and they're like, yo, that can't be the same person on the field. This shit is not.
If you somehow figure out who's got your jersey and helmet, don't put the Jason mask on. Just call the cops or something. We can't have it. We can't have any of that. We need you going to the first round.
Right. Real talk. No, I'm not. I don't want,
because I know how mad you are. I know how mad you are.
I just want my shit. Like, that's all I want. Like, I don't care if they drop it off at my door, if they gave it back anonymously. Like, I just want my stuff. Like, I just don't want them to damage it. They obviously I can't hurt them, but I don't want anything bad to happen to them. I just want my shit. Like, that's all. That's all.
That's not, you're not asking for much. man.
Right.
I'm not asking for much.
Man.
Perrion, man, I know it's an extremely busy time for you, very exciting time, and this is awesome that you were able to hop on with us. We were so fired up that you had the Senior Bowl that you did, man, and I can't wait.
It's crazy because I was watching your video and you literally called everything that fucking happened. Like you literally
He was
said
dead on it.
he literally dead on about how the media was gonna change their perception and everything. Like it was crazy watching that. For real.
Hey,
I appreciate y'all for having me on too.
Hey,
So
a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, baby. You throw enough takes out there, one of them's gonna be right every once in a while, dude. I'm so happy for you, and this is, former players, like, this is a brotherhood, man.
Right, exactly.
If you need anything from Ted or I, like, we got you, bro. This is for life. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait to see where your career goes, bro.
Definitely, I appreciate that for sure. Sure, y'all know we locked in, man. I'm trying to, if our schedule is right, I'm trying to get to a game next year. Or the way I feel like our season gonna go next year, I'll be at the national championship for sure.
I like it.
482.
You got anything else?
482. I'm gonna be watching. 482. Let's see it, man.
Yeah, moving. You remember I said that.
That's right. That's right.
All right, Perrion. Thanks, man.
So, man, thank y'all. Y'all have a good one.